how do you hire your first employees? What type of qualities do you look for? What kind of training do you give? That's what I'm gonna talk about in today's video. And if you like videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button.
Hi, I'm Dan Henry. I used to deliver pizza and sell water bottles to pay my rent. Then I discovered entrepreneurship and grew a $20 million online business. Subscribe to my channel and I'll show you how.
Hey everybody, today's question comes from tomorrow's filmmakers. How to hire your first employees, AKA what to look for and training wise. So this is funny that I got asked this question because I just got done recording a entire session on this for our How to Think app. And basically, and just to give you background on that, How to Think is a membership that comes with an app that I've created where you sign up and there's daily mindset mentoring sessions from me, and then there's an upgrade option for business mentoring, and each week you get a 1-hour business lesson, sort of like business audio seminar from me. And one of the ones I was just recording was how to do just that, how to hire employees and look for the right things. So it's fresh in my mind, so you guys are in for a treat today. And if you are interested in How to Think, you can go up, sign up for the waiting list at howtothink.com. We will be launching soon, or maybe when you watch this video, we'll already be launched. I don't know, we'll see. So a couple things, and I go into this much heavier in the lesson inside the app, but the first thing is, you know, when you're starting, a lot of times, especially if you're a solo entrepreneur or solopreneur, you will find that because you have limited revenue, you have limited, everything's limited, you're able for a very short amount of time to do everything yourself, okay? But you have to understand that every business has 3 categories. You have sales and marketing, you have fulfillment and operations, and you have admin and finance. Sales and marketing is sales and marketing. It's how to get out there and promote and get people to buy your stuff. Operations and fulfillment is, okay, once they buy your stuff, how do you deliver it? Customer service, making the actual product, you know, the actual thing that you're selling, and making all those moving parts work together. And then number 3 is admin and finance, and this is the one that most people forget about, and that is things like accounting, keeping your QuickBooks and your taxes and all that in order, paying people, payroll, all that. And so in the beginning, imagine if you just said, okay guys, I'm gonna offer my consulting for $200 an hour, and you go out there and you make some posts and you get some people interested and you get them on the phone and you sell them. Okay, that's sales and marketing. And then you schedule a time for them to have their meeting with you, and then you have the meeting and you give them the consulting. Cool, that's operations fulfillment. And then you obviously do this for a while and you have to input it into some sort of accounting software for what you've spent, what you've made, so that at the end of the year you can do your taxes, or at least provide that information to a tax professional so that you don't give all your money to Uncle Sam, so that it can be sent on a $10,000 toilet seat. So that's number 3, right? So yeah, in the beginning, if you just have a few clients here and there or what have you, you can do all of them yourself, but then you'll quickly realize that you are just one person and you need to be able to do more. And you can't do more and you can't scale and you can't grow if you're doing everything. So for me, the first thing that I did was I hired an assistant. And that assistant was basically like, okay, whatever wasn't making money for the company that I didn't have time to do, I would have her do. And then I just kept filling her plate until her plate was full. That's how I view it. I view it as a plate, right? So when the plate is full, you grab another plate and you start putting food on that plate. And when that plate becomes full, you start grabbing another plate and you fill that plate with food. And each plate represents a human. Each plate represents a team member. And then eventually you'll get to the point where you're like, all right, I want to get a little more organized. So I have meat, rice, and veggies on this plate, and this plate, and this plate. But in reality, I'd be more organized if I had only meat on this plate, only rice on this plate, and only vegetables on this plate. And so you move the food around and now you have plates with their own specific types of food. I don't know if this analogy is landing or not, but the point is that when I hired my assistant, she did a great job, and then I found that she was really good at one thing. She was actually good at sales, and she shined more in that than anything. And so I got a new assistant and I had her do sales, and then that assistant, and you know, on and on and on. And then for instance, my video guy, Brandon, when I went on vacation, I went to the Bahamas for a yacht trip, and I was gone for 10 days. And I said, hey man, I've noticed that out of everybody in the company, you have been able to be the most organized out of everybody and been able to get things done to where you're working with other team members and things are happening, because Brandon actually trained our customer service rep. He made Trello boards. He did all this stuff that was very organized. And so I ended up giving him a shot to basically run the company while I was gone. And he did a pretty good job for somebody with no formal operations training. And then so I eventually promoted him to operations manager. I made sure to get him the books and education he needed, and we're working on that. And so I basically like bring people in to take over when plates get full, and then I find where they shine, and then I put them where they shine. And I'm sure that there's a lot of successful entrepreneurs that are more successful than me that would probably have a completely different approach to that. But that's what's worked for me, and that's what allowed me to keep my business small, lean, efficient, and highly profitable without having the pressure of having this crazy payroll amount, because I just build out like that. And then as you build out like that, you really want to separate people into those 3 buckets of sales and marketing, operations and fulfillment, and finance. For instance, Alice started as my assistant, personal assistant. Then she became my executive and personal assistant. And then I got her an assistant, Nikki. And now Alice is more head of like accounting and HR. HR, we don't really have an HR. We have this joke, HR is like this room with a skeleton and cobwebs in it, but it's just a joke. We're a fun bunch. But Alice takes care of paying everybody. She takes care of all of our loans. She takes care, and when I say loans, like when we, it's not even really my company, it's more me. Like I invest in things, I lend money out to projects, I participate in a lot of investment groups, and so she manages all like the paperwork for that, paying everybody, making sure that just the administrative and finance side runs. And she communicates with the CPA, she communicates with the finance consultant, she communicates with all those people, and then Brandon communicates with all the people that get things done from an operational standpoint, and so on and so forth. So that's how I like to do it. But in terms of like what to look for, so one thing that I do is I have a very specific set of questions, very awkward, unorthodox questions that I ask to find the right person. One thing I do, and there's several questions, I cover them in our business mentoring session inside of How to Think, but one is I say, what did you not like about your last job? And here's what I look for. I don't actually look for an answer. I look for a categorical way they're responding. I want them to respond with something, either there was nothing I didn't like about my last job, or they simply say something like, oh, the hours weren't right for me, something like that. If somebody says, oh, well, my boss was a terrible person and he was always very aggressive, and I had a problem with this girl at work, or this dude was this, and they tell me drama during the job interview, I don't hire them, because it's not about whether or not their drama was true, not true, justified, etc. It's about the fact that they even brought drama into the conversation. You don't want drama in your workplace. You don't want drama in your company. And if somebody is bringing up drama in a job interview, they're going to be full of drama. And listen, maybe I'll get flack for this, but I remember one time I had somebody tell me about how her boss was always hitting on her, right? I understand that's terrible. A boss should never hit on an employee. I think that's highly inappropriate. But during the interview, she was going on and on about it and telling me about the guy's wife and how, she was friends with his wife, and it was made awkward, and just all this information I didn't need to know. And to me, that's drama, right? That's just drama. And so I don't want to hire somebody that likes to talk about drama, because when you have drama, you don't have efficiency, you don't have work. So to be clear, I'm not saying that if you interview somebody that says that, they're not justified for being angry about it. I'm saying they shouldn't bring it up, right? That's not something they should bring up, especially in an interview. Any drama whatsoever, I don't hire people. And as a result, I've never had any drama in my company. Zero. We had a meeting the other day and I said, I want to be thankful to all of you, because in the past 4 years, there's never been an inter-community struggle, like a fight. Nobody's ever had an argument. Like literally, we've never had an argument in our company. We've never had a dramatic thing where somebody didn't like each other, because I just don't hire dramatic people. Period. Justified, not justified, I don't hire dramatic people. So that's like one thing. Another one is you say, why shouldn't we hire you? And when you say, why shouldn't we hire you? If they say, well, I'm perfect, there's no reason why you shouldn't hire me, they think they're being confident, but what they're actually being is a liar, because nobody's perfect. So I don't hire you if you say that. What I'm looking for is an honest flaw that I can work with. So if they say, well, I just got out of prison for double murder, well, thank you for being honest. We'll let you know. Like, I'm not going to hire that person, But if they say, like for instance, Alice said to me, well, I'm a perfectionist and sometimes I don't get things done as quickly as I could because I'm being too perfect. I said, okay, I can work with that. I got honesty and I got a problem I could work with. And I worked with her on that and it's worked out very well. So those are just 2 questions. There's several that I would ask. I have kind of a system for it. And as well, it depends on like for instance, if I'm hiring for sales, I'm a complete dick to the person that I'm hiring. Honestly, I will cancel a meeting at the last minute. I will be late on purpose. I will always tell the person, no, I don't think you're a good fit. Why? Because when you're in sales, you're going to deal with that with customers every single day. People are going to be late to appointments. They're going to cancel appointments. They're going to tell you no all the time. So if you're trying to get a job, you're trying to make a sale, just as if when you were selling my product. So I want to see how you deal with me as a rude, inconsiderate boss, which I'm playing that part in the beginning and I become much nicer later. But I want to see how you deal with things like criticism and aggression and being late and multiple reschedules. Do you stick it through? When I tell you no, do you just accept that or do you try to close the deal and still get the job? Because that's what you're gonna have to deal with. And I get it, some people would criticize me for that and say, oh, you should always treat potential employees with respect and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, I agree, but sales is a different thing. And it's worked out for me so far. I get it, I get the argument that you shouldn't be late and all that, but that's like saying you shouldn't yell at somebody and then the drill sergeant is yelling at the Marine, and then all of a sudden, you can't yell anymore, and then next thing you know, we're on the battlefield serving tea and crumpets and getting shot in the head. And it's like, I'm sorry, but it's sales. This is how I choose to do it. Not gonna change my mind. It works. Sue me. So there's just a couple tips right there. And another thing, and I'm gonna save this because this is so powerful. It is literally the thing that has got me the best possible employees. It's running viral contests. I've hired my best employees by running contests for a gig and then picking the best person that won the gig. I have a whole system for it, but unfortunately, if you want to learn that system, you're gonna have to sign up for How to Think and get the business mentoring option. I'm saving it for that. I'm sorry, I just can't give that one out for free. But you could always try it based on my description. There are some finer points to it, but I'm saving that for our app. So anyway, thank you guys, and thank you to the person that asked the question, which is Tomorrow's Filmmakers. I hope this was helpful, and subscribe, smash the like button, all that jazz. And again, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I might just make a video about it. So talk soon.